Cynthia here from Sew Casually Chic. I am very excited to welcome you to day 3 of the Greenstyle Bomdia Sew Along. Before we get started, I want to remind you to use the link in my blog to get 25% off the Bomdia pattern. It is currently listed at 15% off, but if you use that special link just for our sew along, you can get it at 25% off. Make sure you click the link in my blog, add the pattern to your cart, click checkout, and then you will see the price change to 25% off. I'd also like to remind you to get your 10% off at Minerva.com. Minerva.com has sponsored this sew along, and they will be giving us some fabric prizes at the end, and this lovely fabric, scuba crepe that I used for this dress, is also from Minerva.com. They are a great fabric company, and I encourage you to check out their fabrics. They're amazing. So let's get started on day 3. What we're going to do today is so fun. We are going to make the drawstrings, and I have 2 different techniques to show you for making drawstrings, and then we are going to insert and attach the drawstrings to the dress. Once we finish today, we are really going to feel like we have a Bomdia dress in the works on our sewing table. So exciting. I can't wait to see what you do today. Make sure to take a picture of your work and share it in the Facebook group using hashtag BomdiaSAL. I can't wait to see what you do. Have fun, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. I'm going to show you 2 methods for creating the drawstring. First is on your serger, and it's sort of a cheater method. Draw out a long tail from your serger, and then you'll take your fabric and insert the tail on the right side of the fabric, and you just want to run it down the center of the fabric. Fold the fabric closed, and then you are going to start stitching right along the edge with that thread tail in the fabric. Make sure you don't get the thread caught in the stitches. So you have to be constantly opening the fabric to check out where the thread tail is. As you run the serger, you're going to start drawing that thread out and pulling on your fabric, just as you would with the safety pin in the normal strategy, but this time you're doing it as you stitch. So just make sure that thread doesn't disappear into the loop that you're creating, and you just need to constantly be pulling on it until you get to the very end. Now, I did find that using this technique on a thicker fabric like this scuba crepe that I'm using is a little bit more challenging. I did this technique with another rayon spandex that was thinner, and it was a lot easier to pull it through as I stitched it with this method. So if you try this method and feel like you don't particularly like it because it's hard to pull as you're stitching, you may try it again with a thinner and lighter fabric. So there's that cheater method, and you can also find it by linking from the pattern tutorial if you want to see a different view of it. This is the standard method. So what you're going to do is just stitch with the right sides together as you normally would. Then you'll get your safety pin and pin it into the seam. Make sure you give yourself a little space, maybe 3/8 of an inch up to 1/2 inch. Don't pin it right along the edge of the fabric, because then you could pull the pin through the fabric, and that's no fun. And then you just start drawing and pushing the safety pin through the loop until you get to the very end. And once you get to the very end, you will just pull your safety pin out and continue pulling the fabric out until it's all right side out. I feel like this is the most exciting part about making this dress, because that ruched side on the Bomdia is just so special. So we're going to take the drawstrings that we just created, and we're going to insert them using the safety pin method into the casings that we created yesterday. Starting from the bottom, you'll simply insert the safety pin and just start drawing it through the casing until you get all the way up to the arm side. And once you get to the very top, remove the safety pin and then attach the drawstring to the arm side using a straight pin. You want to hold it in place so it doesn't fall out in the next step. Then I like to pull out all of that gathering that I just did while I inserted the drawstring, and that'll make it easier to insert the second drawstring right alongside the first one. Now we have two drawstrings attached by straight pins into the arm side in preparation for our next step. To baste the drawstrings in place, we're just going to stitch a straight line right across here, using a straight stitch at the longest stitch length, which is 5 millimeters on my machine. It's just going to be a short little stitch, and basically these will just hold the drawstrings in place so they don't fall out as we work on the rest of the dress. Easy peasy. Now you have a stitch holding those drawstrings in place, and if a little bit of the drawstring is sticking out, it's fine. You can just snip it off. You'll probably be trimming off a significant amount of the drawstring at the end. I think I took about 8 inches off of mine, so don't worry about taking off a ½ inch or so. And voila, I love this part of the process. It's so cool. So now you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Well, how did day 3 go? Let me know in the comments. I try to answer all questions promptly. And be sure to head on over to the Greenstyle group on Facebook to check on today's Sew Along post. Just search #BomdiaSAL to find all my posts. I can't wait to hear from you.